don't sit on a lofty perch, because one time you were the fighter that was looking for an opportunity and trying to scratch a living and secure your future for you and your family.
This is Jonathan Aguilar here for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by top trainer Adam Booth here at Media Day for Josh Kelly, who's got a huge fight 2 weeks on Saturday at Wembley Stadium against Liam Smith. Adam, he's looking really sharp. Talk to us about this opportunity for both of them. This is a huge opportunity. How excited are you for September 21st? I
am. I mean, these are the events that fighters and coaches look forward to being involved in, on the big stage, in competitive fights against name fighters where there's a challenge. It's what gets the juices flowing. And when you go back to, when all of us first walked into a boxing gym and started boxing amateur, and then if you just cut everything else out and said someone said, right, today you're here and tomorrow you're going to be there, you'd be the most excited person on the planet. So it's really important to remind yourself of why you first got into boxing, to really cherish these ultimate moments.
As a trainer, where do you rank this fight, this occasion, in terms of everything you've been a part of? You've done all those huge nights with David Haye, but to be on a card like this, and to have taken Josh from where he was to this moment, where does it rank for yourself?
So the event is probably as big, if not bigger, than anything I've been involved in, and that includes promoting the world unification bout between David Haye and Vladimir Klitschko, because I was also promoter back then as well. But I would say that when I was there at the press conference, looking at the event and the magnitude of it, I thought, okay, this is definitely the biggest event that I will be working as part of, and that was a nice little thing. With regards to the fight, it's a challenging fight, stylistically, experience-wise, toughness-wise, and I'm thriving on it, and Josh is thriving on it, because it's why we're in it. You need that risk and that reward and the danger to get you interested, and so we're doing what we choose to do, how we choose to do it. So we're just lucky.
In your opinion, what's been the key to the recent form of Josh Kelly? Because a lot of people wrote him off after the Avanesian fight. He had his reasons, and perhaps too long at the weight, but he's rebounded since, and people are putting him back in the conversation like he was towards the start of his career.
Yeah. So what was the question though?
What's been the key to that?
Consistency and evolution as a man. He's not the same person he was 2 years ago, let alone 3 years ago. He has evolved mentally and intellectually and emotionally with the work that he's been doing away from the gym, and that was the reason why he was faltering as an athlete. So he's recovered that, and he's now in the best position he can be to fulfill his potential, whatever that is. And because we have been training consistently now for the best part of 8 months, and consistency is key, and his attitude has been on point, that he has given himself, he's done himself justice. He's given himself the best opportunity of being the best version of himself. So control the controllable. What you can't control, let it be, and just enjoy the ride that you're on.
And then when you look at Liam, from that Eubank fight, people might suggest that he potentially be on the slide, but would you say that, given his experience and given his ability, that's just not the case, and you expect the best Liam Smith possible?
Oh, 100%. He's motivated himself, and I think he works well off anger, and I think he's motivated himself well. I've been asked a couple of times, but to think that I would be naive enough to make this fight based on his performance against Eubank the second time is naive in itself. But I look at him on his best days, on his best wins, whether it's Liam Williams, Vargas, the good fight he had against Magomed Kurbanov, all of them, Anthony Fowler, all of his good wins. That's what I look at, and that's the Liam Smith I have in my mind's eye when Josh and I are running through things and working on the game plan and the elements.
And apart from Josh Kelly, who are you working with right now? Who else have you got coming up?
In the gym, I've got David Adelaide and Felix Cash as well.
So, just talk to us a bit about them. Obviously David looking to bounce back, and same with Felix. What's next for them?
I guess like a rehab clinic. David's fighting start of November, I think, and Felix, I'm hoping, will be out before the end of the year.
Adam, just a couple of other things I wanted to ask you about. You mentioned, being a promoter previously, and there was an interview that Simon Jordan did yesterday with Eddie Hearn, and he suggested that given sort of the financial muscle that Turki Al-Sheikh is bringing in, then is there a need for promoters like Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren, and given he can go straight to the fighters and sort of he's established himself in the way he has. What do you think of that?
Well, what Turki Al-Sheikh has done for boxing was what boxing needed. There's 3 words that wreck fights or limit the evolution of boxing careers, and that's exclusive promotional agreement. And what Turki Al-Sheikh has done, and Riyadh season, is it's circumnavigated that to the point where the promoters can't help but be involved in these events how they want it to be. And money invested creates the opportunities, because the fighters should be getting financially rewarded for taking these fights, and it makes sense financially for promoters. Promoters always think green. They always do. They think about the money first. It's a business. They want to make profit. But it almost seems like the personal interest and investment of Turki Al-Sheikh has done this in a way that's made it even more unavoidable. He seems to genuinely love the sport and care about the most important people, which are the ones in there competing. And sometimes the business is really guilty of overlooking that and just taking care of itself and satisfying its own needs and saying that their business is more important than any fighter. And historically, that's what the world of boxing is. And that's what promotion is. But the breath of fresh air and genuine concern for the fighters that the structure of what Riyadh season has done, for somebody like me, is something that you couldn't have foreseen happening, ever. And it has. And we've got to be grateful for it and treat it like it is. Stop criticising it. Because I've seen there's fighters, retired fighters, who are comfortable in their own life, dismissing it. Well, but don't sit on a lofty perch, because one time you were the fighter that was looking for an opportunity and trying to scratch a living and secure your future for you and your family. And what Riyadh season has done, and Turki Al-Sheikh, is it's created this for a vast number of fighters that wouldn't have ordinarily got the chance to be in these events and have a chance of making this money and securing their future. So let's treat it with the respect and the gratitude, and not entitlement or bitterness that it deserves, and just thank them and be grateful for them.
And your opinion on Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois? I mean, how do you think this fight's going to play out, and what's the keys for victory for both?
Well, I don't think it goes long either way. I can see how both of them could have success early in the fight, and it is a question of 2 guys that can hurt each other, which one can capitalise on a moment, and which one makes the mistake and pays for that mistake.
You siding to anyone?
Well, yeah. I mean, you have to say on paper, because of the body of work, that AJ is the favourite. But this is heavyweight boxing. It doesn't matter who you say. This fight isn't taking place in the bookies or on paper. And Daniel Dubois is an evolving young heavyweight, physically capable, whose career is on the uptick. He's gone through his dark days and his doubts, and he's evolving with Don Charles as a formidable entity in the heavyweight division. So AJ can't overlook that.
And just finally, Adam, Tyson Fury getting the opportunity to rewrite the wrongs against Oleksandr Usyk. What's he got to do to win the fight? And do you think he can do it?
I do think he can do it. Maintaining a level of intensity, mentally, emotionally, physically, technically, I think is what could be the key for this, because the fight was there for him to take, but he couldn't put his foot on the gas, because I think he was too worn out from the pressure, that all types of pressure that Oleksandr had put on him. And I think if he makes that adjustment, he can win the fight. The fight was a close fight last time out, and it was pure entertainment. So absolutely, he can win it. Both of them can win it. Usyk's already proved that he can win that fight, and I think Tyson showed enough in that first fight to say, well, if these little moments just went slightly differently, the win would have gone the other way. So it would be a fascinating one.
Adam, appreciate your time and best of luck ahead of September 21st at Wembley Stadium. Appreciate it.